Welcome to Mirror Talks, a series of questions where learning a language becomes a journey of self-discovery. We spend so much of our lives surrounded by others, asking, listening, sharing moments, yet how rarely do we sit in silence with ourselves and do the same. It is as if we have forgotten how to be our own companion, afraid of the quiet that reveals what we truly feel inside. Mirror Talks is an invitation to return to yourself. To sit down, perhaps in front of a mirror, and look gently into your own eyes. To face your vulnerability with kindness. To honor your past scars, embrace your present uncertainties, and tenderly meet the fears you hold for the future. Here you will not be judged. You will simply listen to yourself. Through these moments together, you will learn not only new words, but new ways of understanding them, in English and in the language of your own inner world. In every episode you will discover 5 self-reflection questions and sample answers to inspire new perspectives. In this episode you will learn about integrity, solitude, rejection, success, and boundaries. So take a deep breath. Come as you are. Let's begin the quiet conversation that matters most, the one within. Here comes the first question. What kind of person do I want to be when no one is watching? This question brings me back to my core values. I imagine myself alone, without an audience. How do I treat myself then? Am I kind, honest, and patient? Or harsh and demanding? This reveals my true relationship with myself. Integrity begins in private moments. I think about the qualities I admire deeply. Compassion, humility, courage, and honesty. I ask how I can live these values daily. Not in big gestures but in small choices. How I speak to myself matters. How I handle mistakes matters. Becoming this person is a lifelong practice. I will fall short sometimes. What matters is returning to intention. Each day is a new chance to align with my values. When I live this way, my life feels meaningful. I feel grounded, authentic, and at peace with who I am. Here comes the next question. Don't rush, just listen to what your heart whispers back. What do I do when I feel lonely, and does it truly help? Loneliness can feel heavy and quiet. When it appears, I often try to escape it. I may scroll on my phone, overwork, or distract myself. Sometimes I stay busy to avoid feeling empty. I ask myself if these habits really help. Often they only numb the feeling for a short time. Then loneliness returns even stronger. Loneliness is not only about being alone. It is about feeling unseen or disconnected. I ask myself what kind of connection I truly need. Maybe I need emotional honesty, not just company. Maybe I need to connect with myself first. I can sit quietly and listen to my inner world. I can offer myself compassion instead of judgment. I can respond to loneliness with care. I can reach out to someone safe and genuine. I can write, create, or walk in nature. I can remind myself that loneliness does not mean I am unlovable. It means I am human. When I meet loneliness with presence, it becomes a bridge, not a prison. The following question is: how do I react when I feel rejected? Rejection touches deep emotional wounds. When I feel rejected, my body reacts quickly. I may withdraw, become defensive, or try to please others. Sometimes I blame myself or feel shame. I pause and observe my reaction. I remind myself that rejection hurts because connection matters to me. This pain is human and understandable. I ask myself if I am interpreting the situation clearly. Sometimes rejection is not personal. Sometimes it is about timing, capacity, or differences. My mind may create painful stories that are not fully true. I practice separating facts from assumptions. This helps reduce emotional suffering. I can soothe myself after rejection. I speak kindly to my inner voice. I remind myself of my worth beyond others' approval. I allow the pain to move through me. Over time, rejection loses its power. I learn that I can survive it and still remain whole. As we move forward, let this question guide you inward. What does success mean to me, not to others? I ask myself whose definition of success I am following. Society often measures success with money, status, or achievement. But my heart may want something different. Maybe I value peace, freedom, or meaningful relationships. I take time to define success in my own words. This brings clarity and relief. Success for me might mean living with integrity. It might mean waking up without fear. It might mean having energy for the people I love. When my goals match my values, I feel more aligned. I stop chasing approval and start honoring my truth. This creates inner stability. I give myself permission to walk my own path. I do not need to explain my choices to everyone. My life does not have to look impressive to be meaningful. When I live by my values, success feels quiet but deep. It feels like being at home with myself. And there is the final question, a gentle closing circle. What boundaries do I struggle to set, and why? I think about moments when I feel drained or resentful. Often weak boundaries are hiding there. Maybe I say yes when I want to say no. Maybe I allow disrespect to avoid conflict. I ask myself why setting boundaries feels hard. Often it comes from fear. Fear of rejection, guilt, or being seen as selfish. I remind myself that boundaries are not walls. They are doors with clear rules. Boundaries protect my energy, time, and emotional health. They show others how to treat me. When I ignore my limits, my body and emotions suffer. I may feel tired, anxious, or angry without knowing why. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It does not mean I stop caring. It means I care for myself too. I can practice boundaries in small ways. I can pause before answering requests. I can say, "Let me think about it." I can use calm and clear language. Even if others feel uncomfortable, my needs still matter. Each boundary builds self-trust. Over time I feel more stable, confident, and emotionally safe. That is the end of today's self-reflection questions, but your inner dialogue does not have to stop here. May these reflections become more than language practice. May they become moments of presence, where each word you learn is also a whisper of understanding toward yourself. Remember, every time you pause to listen within, you are not just learning to speak a language, you are learning to speak your truth. So keep your heart open, your mind curious, and your words gentle. Your mirror is waiting. Keep these thoughts close as you move through your day. These are the 5 questions we reflected on today. Now it is your moment to answer them in your own way. What kind of person do I want to be when no one is watching? What do I do when I feel lonely, and does it truly help? How do I react when I feel rejected? What does success mean to me, not to others? What boundaries do I struggle to set, and why? And as we close today's mirror talk, remember, this is not an ending, but a continuation. Every quiet reflection you make, every word you learn, every gentle thought you offer yourself becomes part of a lifelong dialogue, the one between who you were, who you are, and who you are becoming. Language, after all, is not just about communication. It is about connection. When you learn to speak kindly to yourself, you open space for compassion to flow more freely toward others too. The more you listen within, the more clearly you can hear the world around you. So as you step away from this moment, carry with you the calm that silence brings and the courage that honesty awakens. Let your reflections guide you softly through the noise of the day. Let your words, in English and in your own heart's language, remind you that growth does not require perfection, only presence. Until next time, keep speaking gently. Keep listening deeply. Your mirror will always be here, waiting for your return.